Good afternoon, guys. That video will be dedicated to all of my American friends about a topic that I had the chance to speak about with a couple of my friends, or talk about with a couple of my friends here in the States. I'm originally from Europe. For those that don't know, if anybody that I don't know will watch that video, and I moved to the States this year. Before I moved to the States, I used to be a flight attendant. So today I would like to talk about first having a first aid kit in your car. So basically, in Europe and a lot of countries, it's mandatory to have a first aid kit in your vehicle. Unfortunately, which is very surprising for me, in the States, the law doesn't require you to have a first aid kit in your car. So it may seem for a lot of people useless because we have all the EMTs, we have paramedics that we can call and they will come and help us. However, it is proven by a lot of statistics. You can just Google that if you don't believe me. That basically having a first aid kit increases the chances of survival in a car wreck, not only for yourself but also mainly for others. So I decided to build my own first aid kit, having some first aid experience from my previous job. I decided to make my own first aid kit that I know that will have all the things that I would like my first aid kit to have. Of course, even having the cheapest first aid kit from Walmart or from Walgreens will do the job. It's $19 roughly. And even the most simple kit would can save lives in a car wreck. So that's my first aid kit. Bear in mind that you may not be the one using it, even if it's your car and your first aid kit. If you get in a wreck, you may be unconscious or anything, and somebody might be trying to help you. So you have to make sure that the first aid kit is easy to access and that you can tell when that person will be under the influence of stress, that they will be able to tell that, hey, that's okay, that's where I can find help. So I'm going to go really quickly through the ingredients or components. Please forgive me my English. I will go through the ingredients or components of the first aid kit, and basically the purpose of that video is I honestly believe that the roads would be much safer if we would all have that kit in the back of our car. If you will never use it, hey, good for you. I guess you made it safe home. But by any chance, if you will ever have to use it, you will have one and you can save somebody's lives, or you can save your own life by having it behind your seat, just like I do. All right, so going through the kit real quick. I have an self-alcohol tester. I know it's not really first aid, but that's one of the things that I like to have it here. Basically, if you get in your car, it's perfect place to hold it because it is always accessible, and if you're planning to drive, that's when you're going to use it. So even if you have a beer or two and you feel fine, but you have an empty stomach or whatever, if you have any doubts, please, I beg you, make sure you have that in your car. It costs like $1.30. It's really not much, and that can really save you a ticket, or even the worst case scenario, save somebody's life, or best case scenario. Another thing, a pair of scissors or shears that will definitely be helpful when you will be trying to take care of the wound. That is mandatory. Without it, you will probably not be able to do it as quickly as you'd like. Burn gel. Of course, if we get in a car wreck, there can be fire. Even if we see something happening on the side of the road, we can stop, we can help. Burn gel is very helpful. How to use it, all the things, I'm not going to really go through the usage of all those things. You can Google that. I will try maybe going a little bit quickly through all those things. Burn gel is helpful. It will soothe the pain when you're waiting for the first responders to come. Another thing, gloves. I don't like the latex gloves. For me, these ones are better. Neutral gloves. They save you from any kind of disease. If there's a lot of blood everywhere, that will definitely save you. And they're even useful when you're trying to change your oil and you really don't want to get really dirty. Also, another thing, Wound wash. That is very helpful. Make sure you don't get the hydroperoxide, because the peroxide basically, once you open it, after 48 hours, it loses I mean, it won't be useful anymore. I don't know. Not sure how to say what I mean. Within 48 hours, hydroperoxide basically loses its purpose. It will not desinfy it won't kill the germs in the wound or whatever. Please forgive me my English. But basically, so you want to find something like that. It's available at Walgreens. It costs like $8 roughly. And it will keep it, it will be working forever, basically. As long as you have something in the bottle, it will help. So that kills the germs in the wound. If you see that the wound is dirty or anything, always, that's like the first step. Next thing, just regular rolled gaze. That will definitely be helpful when you're treating the wound. I got 3 of those. Honestly, 2 would probably do the job as well. I mean, that kit is supposed to help you once and then you have to refill it. I've got waterproof tape. Waterproof tape is always helpful. That will basically, that's the last layer when you're treating the wound, but that will keep everything intact. Regular band-aids, you cut your fingers, so small scratches, small bruises, that will be also helpful. That can also help you with holding the band-aid in place. Also, another thing, I have regular gaze and sanitized pads. These are very helpful when treating the wound. All of these, I have like 5 of each. You really don't need that much. You can have like 2 or 3. But that will be definitely helpful if there is a wound, if you're treating the wound, if there's heavy bleeding, you want to stop the bleeding. You will of course apply pressure, and then you will try to use Band-Aid, but that will go underneath the Band-Aid, obviously. I think majority of the people undergo some kind of first aid training, either at school or at least their workplace. No matter if you work in a corporation or if you're a member of the military like me or whatever. I think everyone undergoes some kind of a first aid training, so you should know these things. And if not, really, a 5-minute YouTube video can train you pretty well on all the basic things that you need to know to perhaps save somebody's life. I got aspirin as well, and not as a painkiller really. Of course it is a painkiller, however it is not the purpose why I have it in my first aid kit. So one thing that can happen on daily basis, that can happen to anyone, is a heart attack. Basically, when a heart attack happens, how it works is basically your arteries clog with whatever, and your blood is not able to flow back to your heart or flow out of the heart, and basically that's when you're having a heart attack, or that can lead to a heart arrest. So when somebody's having a heart attack, you want to extend the time that they have to wait for the paramedics to show up. Aspirin will do that. Basically how aspirin works is it thins the blood. That's a side effect of aspirin. It thins the blood, which increases the blood flow. Having somebody with a heart attack, you want to thin the blood, so despite the fact that they have the clog, you increase the chances that some blood will go through the clog either way. So that way you actually increase somebody's chances to live. You extend their time waiting for the paramedics. It won't save them like permanently, so they will still need assistance from a paramedic. However, it will buy them time. So that is always useful to have. And if the bottom line is it's also a painkiller. Another thing, CPR protection. And now you can laugh because it's a toilet paper roll, a used one. However, it is the cheapest and pretty efficient way to protect yourself during CPR. So basically, nowadays they're training everybody that putting the pressure is more important than breathing, and that's true. If you don't have any CPR protection, that is your best option. Just keep pressing and at a steady pace, and you should should save their life as well, or at least we hope so. However, if you can do the breathing, it will of course be better. And CPR protection. That's the most simple one. You would have to put it in their mouth, insert it in their mouth, and once you would not, like, their lips have to be around it. I'm not gonna show it, but basically you put it in there and you breathe on the other side, and that should also do the case. So when you tilt their head backwards, you straighten the airways, and that is the basic, very basic protection. Of course, if you feel uncomfortable, if the person looks kind of iffy, then you don't have to do it. The pressure will be just fine, but that's always nice to have as well. And having that said, that is the end of my entire pack of the first aid kit. Roughly for my set, I paid around $50, including the first aid kit, including the Tupperware. Tupperware honestly was around $8. The Tupperware was like ridiculous. However, like I said, you can find a Walgreens around $19, sometimes even less. Walmart definitely will have something for less, so you can find something cheaper. And the bottom line is, the end of the day, you may save someone's life, somebody's life, and that is definitely worth it, worth having. I mean, it's a small investment. If you never use it, like I said, good for you. You don't want to go through that. However, if you do, then you'll be thankful for that. And the more of us have these on the roads, the safer we all are, because wrecks happen every day. More people die in car crashes than in aircraft crashes that we keep hearing about, and we're like so terrified getting on an airplane. There's a bigger chance of dying when you get in your car. I don't want to scare anybody, but it would be good to know that there is somebody that has that small kit that can save my life. All right, you guys have a great afternoon. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, if you find it useful and you share my opinion that we can make our country a little bit safer, don't forget to share and like. That will definitely help others. And if not, I hope you enjoyed the video either way. You have a great afternoon, guys. God bless you.